Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to another episode of the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. Now, I am full of emotion today because this is the final episode with my two very favorite Jersey girls, the incredibly talented Sara and Melissa, the owners of Sykes Lanno Skin Bar and the Sykes Lanno Beauty Collection for Professionals. Now, over the past year, we've been doing about an episode a month with the intention to give you a behind-the-scenes look at their growth. This year, they have more than doubled their already six-figure revenue from the year before, even during a pandemic, even with a 3-month shutdown. So it has been such an incredible joy to coach these ladies in our Growth Factor program, and I know this is only the very beginning for them. So I want you to listen in as we share our lessons from 2020 and what our goals for 2021 are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play that interview.
All right, my dears, Daniela here, and welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. I am back for now the final episode of our year-long journey with Sara and Melissa. And what a freaking year it has been.
Oh my gosh. Craziest year, I think, in my life.
A lot of people are like, oh, good riddance 2020. Like, I'm so over this year. But it's certainly been a kick in the pants, but I'm really grateful for this year. I feel like there's been so many lessons that have been learned, and I've learned so much about myself and how I show up as a business owner and what's important to me and where I want to focus. And I think the same for you guys as well. Like, you learned so much about who you are and what you want and the direction that you want to go. And, we were talking before this call, like how cool it is to have that documented throughout the entire year to see that journey that you've been on.
Yes. I think it's great too, because I think you're also collecting data essentially, and you're able to have a totally different relationship, and really you can be more so grateful for your clients and take a look at things in a positive light to reflect on, because obviously things that happen that could seem negative at the time really help you to grow in the future. So I think we've all grown from this. And I know Melissa and I have definitely grown from this as well. And we're really happy with where we've come from a year ago when we first did our first episode even.
What's so cool is like people so often say like, oh my gosh, I'm not where I want to be, or I'm not, they're focusing on like where they're not. And I had a coach several years ago say, oh, you've got to keep a business journal. And I was like, a business journal? What's that? So I started just writing a little bit, and I would do it sporadically. Like, if I'm truth be told, like the only journal that I've been really good at doing consistently is the Start Today journal, the gratitude one. But with other journals, I'll like do it for a month and then I'll stop for a month, and then I'll do it for, it's like I get in these spurts. But I started with a business journal, and it's so interesting to see like where your mind is at and what you're thinking and what your beliefs are and what you think is possible. And now I want to ask you guys, like, if we go back and look at Sara and Melissa from the first episode we did right after the AMS, before the pandemic, like, what do you think is the biggest difference in you guys? Like, what's the biggest like level of growth that you're most proud of, I guess, in the past year?
Well, I think to start from this whole year, we really buckled down and decided and determined what was most important to us, right? Like what really needed our focus and what so much didn't. Retail has been huge for us this year, and we've had tremendous growth with it. But I also have to say, our whole business model, our whole business plan completely changed. I mean, we were really fixated on building our spa up, and we have been, we 100% have been, but for 3 months out of 2020, we weren't able to really do so.
except for retail. So we really had to buckle down and see like, where were we going to take this journey? We know that we're so capable and we want success and we love the industry. Like, where were we going to take it? And our path took us to our beauty collection.
And I think too, that if we were to reflect back on terms of what our mindset was come January, we have realized throughout this year, we can adapt to anything, right? So we have learned we are powerful together. I think we are better with our decision-making because the first year, or when we first started, a year ago, we just learned all the kinks of what worked and what didn't work in our business. But I also think throughout this being shut down, we really took a shorter time frame in decision making, like that doesn't work, and then just moving forward. So I think we're very good now at realizing Melissa's good at certain things, I'm good at certain things, and actually dividing and conquering together. And I think that when you can do something like that, that's how you can have the most growth too.
Yeah. And I think the creativity, like Sara said, like, okay, we implemented this, it didn't work, let's move on to the next one. Like, you do have to be super, super creative. And there's going to be things like you had just said, like throwing spaghetti at the wall, like some stick and some don't. And you can't beat yourself up for the things that don't work, because I think we've said this in previous podcasts, like failure is moving forward. It's growth. It's learning curve. So throwing that spaghetti, seeing it fall, okay, just get back up and throw some more, like until it does stick, until it works. And that's what this whole pandemic has taught all of us. Like, we really have to get creative. We have to be able to adapt, and we have to move quickly with it. Like, I forget what the quote is, but it's like, just do it even if it's not perfect. Like, just get it done.
Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect. There we go. Like,
yes.
Just do it.
That was from Sheryl Sandberg's book. I don't know if you guys ever read that, but Lean In. She in there, she wrote, done is better than perfect. And that for me, I was like, all right. And I do have to say, and I don't know if this is just me being biased or what, but I feel like when I became a mom, that became my guiding principle. And I actually became so much more productive, because when I first started my business pre-kids, I was working sometimes 60, 70 hours a week. It was normal for me to work 14, 15-hour days because my husband was getting his PhD and he would be traveling a lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to work all day. That's, I'm going to spend 4 hours in Canva analyzing the different shades of blue. And, now it's like, oh, that works. Oh, that works, and it's just, I think for you guys, because you both were young moms, you just are like, got to get it done. Got it. It's like, you're not going to dwell. You don't have time to dwell on the fact that something didn't work. You got to go to the next thing. Right. And so really that has been such a great life skill for me that I can thank my kids for, is just, I'm going to show up with my hair in a braid. I'm going to show up with no makeup. I'm going to show up, whatever it is. It's the point that you're showing up and bringing value rather than just, having to have everything perfect.
Right. Even us doing the lives and whatnot during the shutdown, and we still carry that on moving forward, is people just want you to show up and be present for them. And they're really just looking for guidance, whether that's for professionals or if it's for your clients in the treatment room. Looking to connect, and people are really just, if it's no makeup on or your kids are in the background or whatever it is, that's what they want.
So let's talk about your growth in the year. So you had just hit 6 figures. You've more than doubled that. Is that right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's the goal for next year?
So the goal for next year is to double at a minimum this year, and hopefully have even more growth than that. Right now we have kind of 2 different business entities. So we have to really, we launched the beauty collection Q4 of 2020. So there's really nothing to go based off of. So this year, this 2021 is going to be growth regardless. But in spa, our goal is to double.
Mm-hmm. So if this is the first episode that you're listening to with Sara and Melissa, number one, go back and listen to all of them to capture the journey. But the beauty collection, you guys have the Sykes and Lanno. I always want to say Lanno, but I know you say Lanno.
Say whatever.
Beauty collection, beauty tools. That was a big part of your spa approach, is doing upgrades that had little or no cost of treatment. So there's not consumable cost. You've got the cost of the device or whatever, but it's not the consumable, and you can increase the value to the client, increasing profit to your spa. It's really a win-win situation. And over the pandemic, that was one of the ways that you guys pivoted, launching that collection. And Q4, it's been an incredible, I have so many people in my group, so many people messaging me like, oh my gosh, I love the cryo sticks. I love the rollers. I love my favorite Jersey girls. Like you guys are just natural educators. And I think it's so exciting that you have taken that step and taken that leadership role in our industry to provide something of such huge value. So it's exciting. I'm excited to see what 2021 brings for you guys.
So are we. And we're just excited that everybody's just as thrilled, because I've noticed, especially with our beauty collection for professionals, it's almost making a lot of these estheticians fall in love with skin again, because what we're introducing them to is something that they don't necessarily already have in their facility. And then they're getting their clients excited, and then they're bringing something new. And it's extremely wonderful to see.
Really is. Yeah.
Good. So I want to talk a little bit about growth factor, because that's something that it's kind of this like elephant in the room to say, it's something that I'm a big believer in coaching. I invest a lot of money every single year in growing and bettering myself. And I wanted to take our listeners on this journey with you guys to get a kind of behind the scenes of like, what is it like to be in a coaching program? What is it like to, invest in yourselves? So for you guys, what has been the greatest value of growth factor this year? How has it helped you to, whether that's just feeling supported, or in what sense has it helped you grow your business?
So first, I want to piggyback off of what you said. If you do not invest in yourself professionally or personally, you will not be able to pour your whole self into your business, and your business is going to stay stagnant. So it is extremely important to be able to reach out and find a program that's going to work specifically for you. I have absolutely adored this program. I love community. I think community is really, really great, especially in the industry that we're in, considering a lot of us are solo estheticians. I'm blessed to have a partner. But a lot of times it is a very individualized industry, and to be able to have community and accountability will really drive your business to levels and places that you've never even think that they would be able to go. So really, your whole Facebook group, I love, the lives, and just everything is just so helpful. And to hear others, either issues or strategies, and all the systems and strategies that you have in place for us, it just makes things so much more simplistic. And you don't have to be like, oh my God, like a deer in headlights. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, there's answers. It's been dealt with. You've already worked out the kinks, and that's my favorite. Like I just want answers, and I want it done. So this is a beautiful, beautiful program for that.
And I also think that when it comes down to not knowing, so one of the great things I like is you have things such as just endless documentation of, you don't even have to question you already have it. And honestly too, if you don't already, Daniela doesn't already have it, she'll somehow make a way to either make a personalized live or create something because there's a need for it. Her team's incredible too. I mean, I literally could not for the life of me figure out how to get my own Google name that said support at Sykes and Lanno. I couldn't figure it out. It was taking me months. And don't you know that Annie just figured it out in like less than 2 days. And having that support from community, like Melissa talked about, but also having the things that us estheticians really don't necessarily understand or enjoy. Right. I mean, I think that that's so important to have. Or when you're having the calls where we all get on together and do hot seats and get to really strategize around it. I mean, it's incredible to have that support, because sometimes as business owners, and especially as estheticians, we kind of feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that need my attention, and it's all funneled in a perfectly placed area where it's like, nope, resources right here. Oh, and you know what? If we don't have that, we will have that. And coaching is incredible too, because you really need somebody to keep you accountable and tell you what you should be focusing on and seeing you from a different perspective. So I do think it has so much.
Having those conversations, you know, even just saying, should I go in this direction or that direction, and talking it through, you know, it's always going to be, and I'm thinking even about the coaching that I've done for myself in my business, the coaches that I've worked with, it's always your decision, right? It's your business. You're the business owner. You have to go with your gut, but it's so nice to have an outside perspective to bounce things off of, because we all have blind spots. And what I love, you know, when we launched Growth Factor, I had been doing one-on-one before. And I just kept thinking there needs to be this community aspect, and everybody wants one-on-one, right? I need personalized, customized. I want one-on-one. That's the piece that I want. And what we did with Growth Factor was really try to make a combination of, yes, you get one-on-one, but no, I don't have all the answers, right? Like, I know what I know, but like Annie knows what she knows. And, you know,
might be like a psychic or a mind reader just a little bit, because didn't you publish something about recession proofing your business prior to pandemic?
Well, that is if you look back at the S&P 500, every 10 to 12 years, there is a recession. Everyone's like, it's the Republicans, it's the Democrats. No, it's for 100 something years, every 10 to 12 years, we have a recession.
And that is data.
Just take it, Daniela. Say you're a psychic.
Daniela, spa coach and psychic. At your service. No, but that was what I was so big on at the AMS, was because I was like, you guys, there's going to be a recession. We need multiple streams of revenue. Like, let's get your e-com up. Let's get all this stuff. And I think that was, I'm so grateful we had that event in January in person, because I love the connection that you can have at an in-person event. It makes the online community so much deeper and so much more authentic. You're not trying to like show off to anybody. You can be like just really yourself. But
I do think, I mean, is it? Oh my gosh, it's snowing in New Jersey. My son's like, it's never gonna snow again, global warming. But anyway, so it's great, the in-person 100%. Like, I love that. I love events. I think events are crucial to like resparking, lighting that fire under your hiney, like getting you back to the spot and like really in that business mindset. But also, I think the online community is great because you speak with these people all the time that when you do see them in real life, you're like, oh my gosh.
Not weird. Yeah.
Like,
yes,
I know everything about you and we're best friends.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We were, and also even the AMS and all that, we're like, oh, we're guaranteed 2 vacations a year.
Yeah.
And then when we didn't have the one, we were like, oh
Well, you guys are going to come. We're going to do one in September in person. I think by September, it's going to be safe for sure for us to, we've got to be able by that point. If the vaccine's going out now, it's like by September, it's going to be good. And if not, we'll do it outside and we'll make it work.
I'm so excited.
We'll be booking our.
Yeah, your vacation. There you go.
And everybody else that's listening to the podcast and that have been listening to us, because we are going, like, we would love to meet you guys too. We get tons of comments and emails and, messages. It would be so cool to be able to meet you guys.
I think that the biggest lesson that I want to really convey, I think through my podcast, through my business in general, is that of collaboration, not competition. Mm-hmm. And I think that on a small scale in our little teeny tiny growth factor program, you're able to see how powerful that is that, before we were talking and you were like, oh, Misty told us how to do the facials in a box. And then we told Andrea how to do the facials in a box. And we, it's like, you're sharing ideas, you're saying what works, what doesn't. Yeah. Like, I know we have multiple SD besties that have formed in our groups, and having those offline conversations and visits and things. And I think that is just so beautiful, whether Growth Factor or any of my programs are a right fit for you or not. I think that it's a really good idea to, number one, find an SD bestie, and number two, find a coach that works for you, right? There's so many out there. And I think doing that and investing in yourself will help you to be the person that you need to be to, insert whatever your goal is, right? But you've got to have that accountability. You've got to have that growth, and you've got to grow every single year.
Right. Absolutely. And who would have known, even for us, when I was looking at the numbers and everything like that, I'm like, wow, we had more growth even during the pandemic. And as we keep going along, like, it's endless opportunities out there, no matter what the circumstances are, and having people to encourage you to be your best. I mean, you show up every month we do this, you show up and encourage us to, like, really show up and be our best. And it's amazing. We're so
challenge
we like that though. We very much want to be like, just tell us how it is.
Constructive criticism is so essential for growth. And that is another thing that we just, like, are so thankful for you. Like, everything.
I know when you first told me about the beauty collection, I was like, okay, well, here's what I think.
Yeah. And then you were like, first off, why didn't you tell me, for one? We were like, just threw it out there.
But like, if you don't get constructive criticism, you can't grow. Mm-hmm. So it is really, really important. So thank you.
We do. We adore you.
Oh, well, okay. So this has been a great love fest. I think a love fest year. I think it's been so incredible for everyone to watch your guys' journey. Do we have some confetti?
We do.
Can we have some confetti here to celebrate?
We're gonna hold it and kiss it into the camera. And this is gonna be.
Wait, I need to take a picture. I need to film this.
I don't know if it's gonna come out good, but we're gonna try.
Almost fell.
All right, guys. Well, also, wait real quick, Danielle, let me just say thank you to everybody that has been listening to us for the past year. It has truly been so amazing. I know, people reach out to us and they're like, I listened to you in the car, blah, 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 blah. You Jersey girls are so cool. I love it. You're real, whatever you may say to us, it literally warms our hearts. And this has been such a blast for us. And Danielle, thank you so, so much for giving us this opportunity. It has been absolutely amazing. And I kind of felt like a rock star this whole year. Yeah. I told my kids this morning, I said, it's my last podcast. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Yeah. I'm like, I've been doing this for, it really is.
Unless you guys decide to start your own podcast. throw that out there.
We have talked about that.
I know. Maybe coming soon.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe.
All right. So we're going to
Okay.
blow some confetti. Thank you all. We love you so much. And cheers to 2021.
All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that episode and really just enjoyed going along the journey with these two ladies over the past year. It has been such an interesting year, and to be able to see them just continually try new things and pivot and see the whole launch of this beauty collection, which I think is absolutely incredible. It's been just so much fun to watch. And if you are interested in our Growth Factor program, we are actually completely full for our 2021 year. But let me share how you can get in if you are interested for our 2022 year. So the way that we run our enrollment process, how we open enrollment, is first dibs always goes to our current members for those who want to renew. And then we open it up to anybody on the wait list. So we have a simple Google form. It's on our website. It's an application form. By applying, that in no way, shape, or form commits you to the program. Just gives us a little more information about you, gives us your website, your social links, and so on, so we can follow you and kind of see what you're up to. So when you apply for the Growth Factor program, we actually keep you on, that is our wait list. And so in September of 2021, we have a VIP enrollment period. So we'll open up enrollment for, our current members that want to go in for an additional year. And then we open it up with some pretty cool bonuses for those that are who've already applied, who are on the wait list already. If we get all of our spots filled, that's it, and that's great. If there are still some open spots, then we will run an open enrollment period during October of 2021. So if you want more information, if you are at all interested, I would highly recommend filling out the Growth Factor application. This is a high-level coaching program. We are working with multi-six-figure owners. These are individuals who have a goal, a vision, a dream of getting into the multi-seven figures. So it is high level coaching. But if that sounds like you, we would love to learn more. And in the meantime, head over to our Spa Marketing Made Easy Facebook group. We've got tons of free resources in there to help you build your spa business.